Hello, stop it. Stop it right now. Get up off your knees. Stop praying. Stop praying that God is going to fix your marriage. God is not going to fix your marriage. Don't pray for it. I know people that have been praying for God to fix their marriage 30, 40 years, and the marriage still remained in the same state. Now, I know that's a bold statement, but I want you to understand why I say this. I want you to say that because God's work is already finished. When you're praying and you're asking God for something, you're asking for something that He has already given you. It's kind of like my children. We live in a home. We own a home for 25 years. If my children came to me one day and said, Daddy, when are we going to get a house to live in? Now, I would look at them kind of strange because we already have a home that we live in. So I would think there's something wrong with their thinking, and it might even offend me. So when we go to God and we ask Him for something that He's already given us, then that is a sign that we are not believing His word. The work is complete. The work is finished. Now, when we pray and we're asking God to do something that He's already done, we are totally out of line. Now, when we pray, the prayer is not for God to move. The prayer for us to move in line with what God has already done. Our biggest problem is when we pray, we're always asking, we're always begging for something. And we don't know that the thing that we're asking for, we already have. We're just not walking in that thing. And marriage is that way. So when we pray and ask God to fix our marriage, He looks at us kind of funny because He said, I've already done the work. I've already fixed it. It's just that you decided that you're going to violate my spiritual laws of marriage, and it's going to cause you to walk in sin, cause you to walk opposed to what I told you that was possible. Now, for those of you who don't believe me, you don't have to. You can get up on a building and you can jump off that building and you can pray to whomever you want to. God is not going to change the law of gravity for you. And that's what we're looking at in marriage. We're looking at these laws that are in place, that are functioning all the time. They're always present, but we're praying for God to change these laws, and He's not going to change them. So instead of praying for God to do something for us, we should be praying a prayer of thanksgiving. If you remember Jesus in the Bible, when Lazarus died, his sister came to Jesus and told Jesus that he had died and that he could have lived if Jesus had not taken so much time on his journey. And Jesus tried to tell her that Lazarus was not dead. He was only asleep. But she did not understand what he was talking about. She knew that he was in a tomb. His body had started to rotten, and there's no way that he could have been asleep. And if you read that verse, Jesus immediately started to weep. He was not weeping because he lost his good friend Lazarus. He was weeping because these people walked with him each and every day, and they never believed anything he said. Remember what Jesus did when he went to the tomb. He did not say, Father, raise Lazarus from the dead. That's my best friend. Please raise him right now in my name. He didn't ask for anything. He said, Father, I thank you. I thank you for hearing me. You always hear me. And the next words out of his mouth were, Lazarus, come forward. He did not ask God to move, to do anything, because he knew that the Father already knew what he wanted. In your marriage, God already knows what you want. Just thank him for already doing it, because he has already did it. And then walk in that way. And I'm going to give you another example when Jesus met the man at the pool of Bethesda. And this man had been there 38 years laying beside this pool. And when Jesus started asking him, how did you get here? He started to give Jesus all kind of excuses about, I've been here for 38 years and I've been waiting for the angel to come and trouble the water, and every time I try to jump in, everybody else jump in, and by the time I get a chance to get in, the water's not troubled, the angel is gone. Jesus was not even listening to his excuses, just like he's not going to listen to your excuses when you're praying about fixing your marriage. He's not going to do it. You know what Jesus is going to say? Take up your bed and walk. Now, what does that mean for that man to take up his bed and walk? Jesus never saw a lame man. And Jesus doesn't see you as a lame person when it comes to your marriage. He sees your marriage as complete. But what he sees is that you are not walking in the completeness of your marriage, and therefore you can't have the benefits. Just like the guy at the pool of Bethesda. If he had not taken up his bed and walked, he would have never walked. But Jesus never saw him as being a lame man. Jesus never see your marriage as being broken. It's you that see it broken. And the reason that you see it broken is because you're looking at it from the wrong side. So if you could follow these spiritual laws of God and get back in line as to where God had you originally, then it will certainly improve your marriage. Thank you.